This is an SWX special sports presentation of the State B High School Basketball Tournaments.
Well, the State B basketball tournaments continue here tonight at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. The final quarterfinal of the night featuring Sunnyside Christian and Cusick in a 1B girls matchup. Hi, everybody, and welcome inside the arena. John Fritz alongside Kirk Earlywine here tonight. And, Coach, we've seen some dominating performances here in the quarterfinals, but a couple of teams here tonight that really come in on a roll. Certainly the most important games of the year for them here tonight.
Yeah, this is what these kids dream of, and they'll remember for the rest of their lives, playing in the state tournament. And they both want to come out and give their best effort tonight. And I'm expecting based on, I haven't seen either team play, but based on their records and statistics, it looks like we've got a very even matchup tonight. Sunnyside
ranked number 3 in the state. Cusick out of the very difficult Panorama League. We'll have the CenturyLink game plan and the starting lineups. That's when we come back here. You're watching the State B basketball tournaments right here on SWX. Well, this portion of the game is brought to you by Red Lion Hotels, proud to be a State B sponsor here on SWX. We're back inside the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, getting ready for a State 1B girls quarterfinal game here tonight at the arena. Let's take a look at the starters tonight for the Cusick Panthers, who will come into the contest 17-8. They finished their regular season 14-6. 17-8 after their playoff run. It'll be Samuels, Heinen, Adamson, Nenema, and Montgomery, the starters for Rob Seymour, the head coach of these Cusick Panthers. Finished 3rd in the Panorama League this season. On the other side of things, the 3rd-ranked team in the state, and that's Sunnyside Christian. The Knights will start Alyssa Hawk, Katie Long, Carradine Hode, Marissa Broersman, and Stormy Van Bell, the starters tonight for the Sunnyside team, who comes in 23-1 overall on the season. Their head coach Al Smink here for the Knights as they get ready to do battle against the Panthers. Time now to take a look at our CenturyLink game plan for tonight's game. Coach, what do we have in this one?
Well, for Cusick, first of all, rebounding. They're at a little bit of a size disadvantage here tonight. Rebounding's been a little bit of a problem for them at times this year, so they've got to control things in the paint, especially on the boards, and then take care of the ball. Take care of the basketball, make sure that they get as many field goal attempts, as many shots at the basket as Sunnyside does tonight. And for Sunnyside, they've got to make sure that they do a good job containing Heinen for Cusick, making sure that she's averaging almost 17 points a game, make sure that she doesn't go off for a big number tonight, and then take advantage of their size advantage in the paint and dominate the paint, not only scoring but rebounding the ball as well.
Let's take a look at those 1B girls brackets up until right up until the minute here. And you see top-ranked Colton, winner earlier today. Elmira Cooley, Heartline, Columbia, all winners here in convincing fashion. And those three teams, very quality teams, and a couple more quality teams here tonight in Cusick and Sunnyside Christian. So just waiting to fill that final line of the bracket here. And in watching some of the contests today, Coach, the nerves, I think, play an issue early on, playing in the big arena for the first time. Important early on.
Yeah, well, I think a couple of things. Not only the extra nervousness and energy of the game, how well you maintain your composure and your poise and handle those emotions, but also sometimes, oftentimes, for high school teams when they go play in a very vast arena, there's a difference in the shooting background, depth perception. Sometimes early in the game, through the first quarter, you'll see a lot of shots missed that kids normally make, and there's no way around it. It definitely affects your shooting with the extra depth in the background behind the baskets.
So Cusick comes in tonight. They're here via a win over Lummi, 60-48, to advance here to this state tournament. And Sunnyside Christian beat St. John Endicott 62-29 to advance again. The Knights 23-1 overall. They've won 11 in a row, so definitely a team to be reckoned with here in this state tournament. Some quality 1B girls teams already on display here. We'll see what happens here tonight. It's tip-off sponsored by your Inland Empire Toyota dealers. Toyota moving forward, and just like that, Sunnyside Christian is on the board with Carrot and Hope.
Well, we saw that in the first game this evening. On the opening tip, you always want to take a defensive position. Assume that you're going to lose the tip. Make sure you don't give up a quick bucket right away to let the other team get going.
Here's Heinen with it on the other end for the Panthers. Cusick with the basketball for the first time tonight. They look inside to Montgomery, and she's going to go to the free throw line. Courtney Montgomery playing strong inside to earn a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, nice job. A really good post feed that time, and then Montgomery was able to get into the defender's body, put pressure on not only the defense but the referee, and get herself to the free throw line, and hopefully get off the schneid right away.
Courtney Montgomery, the 5'9" senior, who's averaging just under 8 points per game, misses her first free throw attempt here for these Panthers. Fourth trip to the state tournament for Cusick. Of course, they won the whole thing back in 2005. Second one rattles home, so the Panthers are on the board, and it's 2-1 early on. Pressure right away here in the backcourt. And there's a turnover on the play, so the pressure pays off early on here for this Cusick team, and they force the turnover, and it'll be Panther basketball.
Yeah, when you catch that ball, especially against man-to-man pressure, you want to get to the middle third of the floor, stay off the sideline, stay in the middle third of the floor, don't turn your back, and don't speed up.
Hard hit there at the top of the key, and there'll be a whistle on the play. As Caitlin Neneman goes to the deck, and she's a little shaken up here as her teammates take another look at it, Coach.
Yeah, inadvertent, reaches in there and catches her. It's hard to tell at that angle whether she got her in the mouth, the nose, an eye. Certainly got her in the face, but nothing intentional.
Madeline Wavrin will check into the game for Sunnyside Christian, and as you might imagine, Nenema takes a seat here for Cusick as they'll take a look at her on the sidelines.
Yeah, she's sitting close to us here. Looks like she's okay. There's no blood or anything. I think maybe just she got a finger kind of in her eye, but she looks like she'll be okay.
Well, the Panthers caught a break that time. The inbound pass was errant, but it was out of bounds off of the Knights, and so it'll be Cusick basketball underneath with Lauren Nelson inbounding for the Panthers. Tried to get it inside to Heinen. Instead, it's blocked inside, and here come the Knights. Alyssa Hawk with the basketball. Stormy Van Bell on the wing, up top to Long. She'll set it up here. Van Bell with the little jump shot that rattles home. Stormy Van Bell is on the board. She averages almost 11 points per game, and she shows there that she can hit the jump shot.
Yeah, they were backed off of her defensively as if they thought that she was not a good shooter. She didn't hesitate to jump up and shoot that ball.
Brittany Adamson on the other end whistled for the travel. Got ahead of herself there in the offense, and so it will be Sunnyside Christian basketball here. Knights lead it here early on by 3, under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. The final quarterfinal of the night for the State B 1B girls. Good look inside that time, and Wavrin finishes for the Knights.
Yeah, nice drive that time by Alyssa Hawk right down the middle of the floor. You got to do a better job if you're Cusick of keeping that ball in front of you.
Adamson picks up the dribble, and her teammate comes up to help out, and that's Nelson with it now for Cusick. The lob inside, too strong, and a turnover on the Panthers, and here come the Knights. It's Hawk with the basketball. She finds a lane. She'll take it all the way in. Can't get the shot to go, though, and Heinen comes down with it for Cusick. All the way up ahead, and that pass is going to be too strong. Another turnover on the Panthers.
Yeah, good job of keeping her head up that time by Andrea Heinen. She just threw that just a little bit too hard, and that may be one of those things. Typically, when you see a team a little bit nervous, you know, they shoot, you know, they'll shoot the ball over the rim a little bit, or their passes are just a little bit too hard. And I think that might be what we saw from Heinen that time.
Annie Brower's checked into the game for Sunnyside Christian for the first time here tonight. As Van Bell will bring it up the floor for the Knights. Sunnyside Christian has won 15 games by 20 or more points. This has been a dominating season for this Knights basketball team. Van Bell, though, has it stripped away by Adamson, so a turnover on the Knights, and Cusick tries to cut into this early 5-point lead.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Adamson that time, being really alert, able to get her hands on the ball and create that turnover for Cusick.
Here's Heinen with it to Samuels in the corner. They tried to work the give and go. It wasn't there.
Trying really hard to post Heinen down there against Van Bell.
Panthers stepped on the sideline there, and so another turnover on Cusick here early on. It'll be Sunnyside Christian basketball with 5:28 to go in the first quarter. Turnovers so far a factor for this Cusick team. There's Wavrin again inside. She couldn't get that one to go. The rebound comes down to Sunnyside, though, and Broersma comes away with her first basket of the night, and it's 8-1. Sunnyside Christian leading here early on in a quick timeout.
Yeah, nice job offensively that time. A good possession for Sunnyside. They were able to get Wavrin on a nice little slice cut. She got to the basket, not able to make it go down, but there was Marissa Broersma to clean it up.
Well, we'd like to take a moment to thank Aero Machinery for helping sponsor the State B Tournament broadcast. Good luck to all the participants, and of course the Colfax Bulldogs. Aero Machinery for all of your farming needs. Proud sponsor of the State B tournaments here on SWX. So the Panthers have had a chance to talk about things, and they'll inbound here down 8-1 early on. 5:11 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think Coach Seymour just wanted to calm his team down more than anything else. It was obvious, you know, when you step on the sideline and do some of those things that are a little uncharacteristic, you know, the pass from Heinen that when it sailed out of bounds, you know, those types of things are just nerves, and he wanted to settle them down a little bit, took a quick timeout, and I think that was a good move by him.
Tried to get it inside to Montgomery again, but it's taken away by the Knights, and a foul at the other end as Madeline Wavrin's going to go to the free throw line for the Knights.
Nice job in transition that time. Did a good job of keeping her head up, throwing that ball ahead, and you can see, you know, there clearly a foul. Good call by the official there, the foul that time on Courtney Montgomery.
Montgomery just a little late getting back as Wavrin missed the first of her free throws. Madeline Wavrin, the 5'10 senior, averaging 6.5 points a game for the Sunnyside Christian team. You look at the stats up and down the line for the Knights and a very balanced scoring attack.
Yeah, and it's been very obvious that they do it. They're very unselfish. They do a good job of sharing the basketball here early in the game.
Montgomery up on the high post. They run the wheel past her. Samuels in the corner with it for the Panthers. Looking for their first field goal here of the night with 4:30 to go in the first quarter. Here's Heinen with it. They'll go right back down to Montgomery, who fights her way in. It's going to be a tied-up ball, and the possession arrow goes to Cusick. So the Panthers will keep the ball here with 4:26 to go.
Good high-low look that time from Heinen down to Montgomery, and they were just able to defend her. Did a good job of competing, coming around the side, able to tie her up for a jump ball.
There's Heinen inside, and she scores. There's your first field goal of the game for the Panthers. And Andrea Heinen has a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, good execution on the out-of-bounds play. That time you see a little cross screen by Heinen, then she opens up, steps to the ball, and a terrific pass right on time. Not the easiest pass in the world to handle. That bounce pass, was down around her knee or just below her knee. Just terrific hands to come up with that ball and then get it up and score it.
5'7" senior could not finish the three-point play, and the Knights come down with the rebound. Hawk with the basketball, bringing it up the floor here for Sunnyside, looking to build on this early 8-3 lead.
You can see Cusick is pretty much disregarding Van Bell, and she's already made that one jump shot. I'm surprised she didn't step in and take another one.
Samuels with the steal, and she'll take the length of the floor, and she's going to go to the free throw line. So Chelsea Samuels with a heads-up play on defense and tries to finish at the other end. She earns herself a trip to the charity stripe, and so the Panthers with a chance to cut into this lead here.
Well, nice job by Samuels there. She felt that defender right on her hip, and sometimes players will kind of fade away from that contact and from that defender and pull away from him instead of taking it right into him, as Samuels did that time, and was able to get herself to the free throw line.
The Sunnyside Christian takes a 30-second timeout here with 4 minutes exactly to go here in the first quarter, and this is one of those situations where some high school teams not used to being on TV, the TV timeout coming up as soon as it hits 3:59.
Yeah, and I think, for the most part, from a coaching perspective, if you feel like your team is in trouble, you're much better off not to wait for a media timeout. Coach Smink that time wasn't happy, with his team, and you still get the media timeout. But if there's something that you feel like you need to address right away, you're better off to go ahead and take it than to wait.
During that timeout, Naylene Andrews has checked into the game for Cusick, number 52, as Samuels will go back to the free throw line looking for the second of these free throws. Second one is up and rattles home, and that cuts the lead to 3. So the defense leads to some offense here for Cusick, and they cut the lead to 3 here early on. Remember, the Sunnyside team not used to playing in very many close games. You would expect the state quarterfinals to produce some close games as Montgomery comes away with another turnover on the Knights.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see as this game goes along. If we get into the third, especially the fourth quarter in a close ball game, how Sunnyside reacts to that.
Well, the triple team inside, and Broersma came up with a block, and Hawk comes away with it for Sunnyside Christian. Cut off there by Andrews. Jump shot not there for the Knights, but it rattles around, and Sunnyside keeps possession. Van Bell with it, left alone up top. Brittany Broersma. That was Marissa inside who misses, and Heinen comes away with it for Cusick. Panthers trailing by 3 here early on. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Heinen with it up top for Cusick. Leading scorer for this team, averaging over 16 points per game this season. They go inside. Heinen has it in there and scores. Andrea Heinen cuts the lead to 1.
Well, I think you can see the early timeout that Coach Seymour took has really paid off for his team. Just calmed his team down a little bit, and they've played much better after that.
Annie Brower in the corner for the Knights. Cut off nicely by the Panthers on defense. Here's Hawk left wide open. That shot is short, though. Rebound bounces right to Van Bell. She couldn't get the shot to go. Browers is there, though, and she finishes.
Yeah, nice effort on the offensive glass that time by Sunnyside Christian. First Van Bell and then Broersma.
And so it's back to a 3-point lead for Sunnyside Christian, and the defense on that end comes up with another turnover as Marissa Broersma comes up with it, up ahead to Hawk. Annie Brower in the corner to Broersma. This is Van Bell. They've been leaving her wide open. Couldn't get the shot to go. Andrews tracks down the rebound for Cusick.
A good hustle on the glass that time by Naylene Andrews.
Nelson will set it up. Here's Heinen. She'll take it hard to the rack. Gets her shot blocked. Samuel's there for the rebound. And a foul on the play, and so that's going to take us to a timeout here on the floor. Sunnyside Christian leading 10-7 with 1:39 to go here in the first quarter. We'll be back on SWX. Well, State B coverage on SWX is being brought to you by Northwest Seed and Pet, Spokane's complete seed and pet supply. Proud sponsor of sports here on SWX. 1:39 to go in the first quarter. Sunnyside Christian up 10-7, and early on the Knights jumped out to that quick 8-1 lead, but Cusick's done a nice job of being resilient and hanging in there.
Yeah, again, I think the timeout by Coach Seymour just to get his girls to take a deep breath and relax a little bit. I think that was really key in the run that they've made here to cut the lead to 3.
So the Panthers have the basketball underneath their own basket here. As Nelson inbounds and has it picked off. Hawk comes away with the steal for the Knights. Another turnover for Cusick here in the first quarter. The little baseline jumper is good that time from Van Bell.
It looks like Van Bell is a very good shooter from 15 feet in, and outside of 15 feet, at least Cusick doesn't believe that she's a good shooter, and they kind of left her alone. But I think if she'll work really hard, she'll be able to get inside of that 15-foot range where it appears that she's a very good shooter.
Another turnover on the Panthers as the Knights come up with it, but Nomi steals it right back here for Cusick. Montgomery looking underneath, another pass too strong, and they give it right back to Sunnyside Christian. So just when they thought they had caused the turnover and had a little momentum going, they've seen it a couple times now, just the passes underneath a little too strong.
Yeah, and you hate, as a coach, you hate when you have a 3-on-1, when you have an advantage break and you don't even get an attempt at the basket. That's a killer.
Another near steal that time for the Panthers, but Sunnyside keeps it. Hawk with the three-point attempt. That one's short, and the rebound comes down to Nomi. Heinen comes away with it for Cusick, and she'll bring it up the floor for the Panthers.
They're almost textbook blockouts that time by Cusick.
They'll go inside again to Montgomery. They like working that post. Samuels tries a long-range three, and she hits, and it's 12-10.
A nice inside-out game that time by Cusick. Throw the ball into the post, and a lot of times those best threes come off of offensive rebounds and off of inside passes coming out of the post.
Hawk with the turnover, so it comes back to Cusick now with 17.9. Shot clock is off.
Not sure where Alyssa Hawk was going that time. The shot clock was off. You've got a 2-point lead. You got a chance to take the last shot of the quarter. She just hurried a little bit too much that time, and that may be part of what you were talking about, not being in a lot of close games.
Here's Heinen with it up top. The Panthers have made it clear they want to take one final shot here to end the corner. Heinen with it, looks inside, too strong though, and throws it out of bounds. And so with 1.1 seconds, Sunnyside Christian will get the ball back.
It's the right look by Heinen that time. She just a little bit too much muscle on that pass. But a good look. The high-low was open. She had a layup there if she could have delivered that ball.
Here's Long with it. And that's going to end the first quarter here at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Sunnyside Christian in a fight tonight with Cusick. Knights lead at 12-10. We'll be back on SWX. basketball on SWX is brought to you by Inland Power and Light Company, proud to be a State B sponsor here on SWX. Getting ready for the start of the second quarter here. Sunnyside Christian with a 12-10 lead over Cusick. Well, I'll tell you what, this Sunnyside Christian team has allowed more than 30 points only once in their last 10 games.
Yeah,
so to have 10 points in the first quarter, Cusick's got to feel good.
Yeah, Cusick's done a nice job after that. After getting off to an 8-1 deficit, they've done a nice job of going on a 9-4 run themselves to cut the lead to 2.
There's Long with it up top. Her three-point attempt is good. Katie Long starts the second quarter with her first bucket, and it's 15-10.
She shot that ball really, really confidently. That's a good sign, especially because Cusick, it looks like it's going to play a lot of zone defense here tonight. It's good for Sunnyside to have someone jump up and make a 3.
Nelson with it for the Panthers. They look inside again to Montgomery, double team down low. She finds Heinen. Heinen on her way, but she gets blocked by Van Bell. Samuels comes away with it. 3 on the shot clock. I'm not sure they know it. Heinen, too late. The bench was screaming over here, counting down the clock, and they just couldn't hear down there on the other end.
Yeah, I think once that shot got blocked by Van Bell, they kind of lost track of time, and especially when it came out, Samuels got that ball, and at that point, whoever gets that loose ball needs to look up at the clock, and the bench has got to start yelling a little bit earlier than they did that time. They waited until there was 3.
Boy, nice high-low that time as Van Bell hits Broersma for the bucket, and it's just like that, a 7-point lead for Sunnyside Christian. Nelson up top for the Panthers to Heinen. Heinen looking to go baseline, dribbles it off her foot though, and it's going to be another turnover for Cusick. Sunnyside Christian basketball.
If you're going to drive that ball baseline, you've got to see your path all the way to the rim. You can't drive down to the baseline looking to find something, exploring. If you're exploring, you want to go middle.
Van Bell with it on the baseline up top to Hawk. Here's Long with it. Oh, nice look again. Holy cow. Van Bell to Broersma's worked beautifully the last couple of times down the floor, and it's a 9-point lead for Sunnyside Christian.
Yeah, the sophomore Van Bell has played really well here, not only scoring the ball a couple of occasions, but has passed it really well, especially in that high post against the zone.
Defense really disrupting things as well as Nomi will take a seat for the Panthers, and Nenema checks back into the game for Cusick. An 8-0, or I should say a 7-0 run here to start the second quarter for Sunnyside Christian has opened this up to a 9-point game now. Long again open for 3, and she'll hit another one.
And once again, another outstanding pass from the high post against the zone by Stormy Van Bell. That's what, and you want to attack zones, short corner and in the little soft spot just below the free throw line. But between the dotted line and the free throw line, most zones, if you can get the ball right there, either shoot it or pass it out of there. But that's where your open 3s come from. And we've seen a high-low pass from Van Bell to Broersma from that spot 2 possessions ago. And then that time she caught it, looked high-low. The defense all collapsed on Broersma. She looked out opposite and found Katie Long for another wide-open 3-pointer.
Well, Inland Power and Light would like to take a moment to salute all of our student athletes who are participating in tonight's game. Inland Power and Light Company, proud to be a State B sponsor here on SWX. Cusick wanted to talk about things here as they've fallen behind by 12 now, 22-10, a 10-0 run to start the second quarter for Sunnyside Christian. And you talked about it. Van Bell has been a catalyst with her passing here in this quarter, finding Broersma a couple of times on the high-low and then finding the open 3-point attempt. And you can see how versatile this team can be on offense.
Yeah, let's look on the next defensive possession for Cusick and see if Coach Seymour, what adjustments he made either to get out of the zone or an adjustment within the zone to help keep the ball out of the high post.
Heinen in the corner, trying to work inside of the post. Nelson with it. She's going to try a 3-point attempt. That one's too strong. Heinen there for the rebound, though, and the follow. Cusick has its first bucket here in the second quarter.
Yeah, sometimes from a defensive perspective, those are tough rebounds to come up with on an air ball when the ball completely misses the rim and it catches you off guard and you're not ready. And they're tough to come up with sometimes. Credit Heinen for getting that ball and putting it back in that time. And then on the other end of the floor, giving up a straight line drive to the rim's not ever good, whether you're man-to-man or zone.
Kara Denhode that time just found a lane and nobody stopped her, so she took it all the way to the basket, and it's a 12-point lead again. Heinen inside. Boy, she's tough on offense.
Yeah, she's really strong and a good athlete, and I think the more that she can get the ball in the post, the better off they're going to be.
Denhode tries another drive inside, and she's fouled this time before the shot. And so Sunnyside will have it out of bounds.
And you can see it that last time out, Cusick decided to go man-to-man, and as soon as they did, Kara Denhode drove the ball right straight to the rim. Next possession, another straight line drive that caused a foul.
Rebound that time by Van Bell would not go, and Montgomery comes away with it. It was Montgomery who was whistled for the foul for the Panthers on the other end. Good job of rebounding the basketball. Nelson with it up top.
If I were Cusick, I'd look to try to find some way to get that ball to Heinen back in the low post.
They skip it across, and you can see the Knights zone collapsing on her. The long three-point attempt is no good, and Van Bell comes down with another rebound. Broersma was open up ahead. Hawk didn't see her. Here's Long. She'll try another three-pointer. That one's too strong, and the rebound comes away with Nenema and the Panthers.
Yeah, it's a wide open look that time for Katie Long, and she obviously had already made 2 in this quarter, and that heart might have been pumping just a little bit faster on that one.
Here's Heinen inside double team. She kicks it out. Three-point attempt. Rebound underneath, and she'll go to the free throw line as Montgomery working that weak side, gathers the rebound, and she's going to go to the free throw line. That's when we come back. 3:59 to go here in the second quarter, and Sunnyside Christian leads it by 10. Aero Machinery is proud to sponsor the State B Tournament broadcast. Good luck to all of the participants and, of course, our own Colfax Bulldogs. Aero Machinery for all of your farming needs. Back here at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, 3:59 to go here in the second quarter. Sunnyside Christian leading Cusick 24-14. The whistle was before the shot, so the Panthers get the ball on the inbound. Could not handle the inbound play, but Heinen tracks it down, but her entry pass back inside goes over Andrews' head, and so a turnover on the Panthers as Van Bell will check back into the game after a quick breather for the Knights.
Well, Heinen's got to do a better job of just being a safe passer. They don't need her to get assists to be a great passer. They need her to just take care of the ball, and they need her to score. And she can't score if she throws the ball out of bounds, which she's done 3 times. She's just got to take care of the ball, move it, make a safe pass, and then let her teammates get the ball to her so that she can score.
Heinen comes up with a steal on the other end to give the ball back to the Panthers, who set it up and give it right back to Hawk. And here's Hawk on the run for Sunnyside Christian. Nice little crossover move to the basket, and she's going to go to the free throw line. Chelsea Samuels will be whistled for the foul for Cusick, and Alyssa Hawk is going to go to the free throw line for Sunnyside Christian.
Yeah, it was a nice job that time by Hawk in transition. Got all the way to the rim and created some contact and able to earn a trip to the free throw line and a chance for a couple of relatively easy points.
Although she misses the first one, the 5'5" senior who averages more than 6 points per game for this Knights team. You know, looking at the league awards, the Greater Columbia League, and Marissa Broersma, she misses both free throws, was the player of the year in the league. All 5 starters, though, part of the all-league team here for this Sunnyside Christian squad. Heinen in the corner. She'll try the baseline, double team down there. Her shot goes off the side of the rim, and Sunnyside comes away with it. Van Bell with another rebound.
Yeah, Van Bell has played really well so far early in the game.
Knights go back inside. That shot won't go, though, and Andrews comes down with the rebound for the Panthers. So Wabern a little strong on her attempt inside, and Cusick with a chance to cut into this 10-point lead. Heinen, she'll try to go to the basket again. Couldn't get that shot to go, but the rebound goes for the Panthers. Andrews with the bucket, and it's an 8-point game.
It's 2 possessions in a row that Heinen has driven the ball and put a lot of pressure on the Sunnyside defense, and the last drive created that offensive rebound and putback opportunity. And then on this end of the floor, once again, Den Hode took the ball and drove it. And she's one thing that it'll be interesting to see if the coaching staff for Cusick recognizes that she's all 3 times that Den Hode has driven the ball to the basket, it's been to her left. Let's see if they are able to recognize that and talk about that maybe the next time out or at halftime.
Well, Montgomery's checked back into the game for Cusick, while Marissa Broersma has checked back in for Sunnyside Christian. That foul on Lauren Nelson, a hand check, and a turnover on the Knights, and Nelson comes away with it for Cusick, but she gives it right back. It's Hawk picks her pocket from behind, and so Long will bring it up the floor for Sunnyside. Den Hode with it on the wing, hounded over there by Samuels. Looking for Van Bell again inside. That's been a good plan here in the first half of the Sunnyside team. Long up top to Broersma. Over to Den Hode, who tries the 3-pointer off the glass and good. Kara Den Hode makes it a 11-point lead now for Sunnyside Christian.
I'm going to resist the urge to make a joke about that bank shot. Yeah.
Den Hode at the other end. She meant to use the glass that time, and she finishes. It's 29-16, and we've got an injured player underneath. As Caitlin Nenema comes up slowly. Looks like she's holding her wrist, and she's going to head straight to the bench.
Yeah, it looked like as she fell, she maybe tried to catch herself a little bit. You know, when you put your hand down to catch yourself, you always run the risk of a wrist injury.
So Adamson checks into the game for Cusick for her. And Annie Brower is back into the game for Sunnyside Christian as well, number 22. So Panther basketball here, down 29-16, 1:33 to go here in the first half. Nelson with it on the wing for Cusick. They swing it around the horn. Inside to Montgomery. Good ball movement. Samuels hits the 3. Chelsea Samuels cuts the lead to 10.
A nice ball movement that time. Got the ball into the high post against the zone, threw it out, made the extra pass. Open 3 in rhythm.
Here's Broersma. She's hacked inside, and so Marissa will go to the free throw line. A lot of contact there with Naylene Andrews. 2 shots for Marissa Broersman here, the player of the year in the Greater Columbia League. 5'11" senior, averaging just over 11 points per game. She had 15 points in the big win over St. John Endicott, which clinched the spot in the state tournament here for these Knights. As Kara Den Hode checks back into the game for Sunnyside, and Long will take a seat.
Yeah, you can see Broersma here on the free throw line, very sound, goes through her routine, shot those 2 free throws exactly the same routine, shot it at the same pace, the same rhythm. I don't have the stats here in front of me, what she shot from the free throw line for the season, but I'd be willing to bet that it was a pretty high percentage based on how technically sound she was on those 2.
Beautiful form there, and the lead back up to 12, and a whistle inside. They were trying to get the ball inside to Andrews, and the whistle against the Knights.
Yeah, I believe Broersma that time was just a little bit out of position and panicked a little bit. Sometimes young players do that. The ball's coming into the post, and they want to reach in, and when they're out of position and end up committing a foul and giving another team an opportunity for 2 easy points. And, you know, sometimes it's as if players think that the offense gets a point just for catching the ball in the post. You know, when they catch it in there, they really haven't accomplished anything. They still have to score. And so it doesn't make sense to commit a needless foul.
Andrews misses a free throw. That's 3 fouls on Broersma. So with under a minute to go here in the first half, a big personal foul against the Knights. They lead it though 31-19. Den Hode with it up top for Sunnyside. She'll try the lane to the basket and she'll get fouled inside. A hold called inside against the Panthers, and they're going to get Maylene Andrews that time for getting over there a little bit too late. She'll get called for the hold as Heinen will check back into the game for Cusick with 39.5 to go in the half. Sunnyside Christian up by 12, looking to build on it here before the break. He's swinging around the horn to Van Bell up top. 3-point attempt off the side of the iron this time. Heinen looking for the touchdown pass, and she finds the open Nelson who finishes. Lauren Nelson.
A nice set play by Sunnyside off the out of bounds. Got a wide open 3 for Den Hode, and she made a big mistake. Once she shot that ball, you've got to get back. You can't stand there and look at it. You can't go chase it and let somebody get behind you and shoot a layup.
Well, the first one was a touchdown. That one was overthrown and out of bounds. And with 8.7 to go here in the first half, Sunnyside Christian will get another chance.
Once again there with Heinen, her 4th turnover with 10, 11 seconds to go, and she got the rebound. I'd like to see her just bring that thing up the floor and try to get all the way to the rim and get a shot for herself, certainly as opposed to a turnover.
Sunnyside with one last chance, and it goes. Brower hits the shot at the buzzer. What a big bucket that is for Sunnyside Christian, so they'll take a 12-point lead into the break.
Terrific awareness for the young freshman that time, understanding the clock and the end of the half, got that ball off and scored it. Terrific play for a young kid.
Sunnyside leads it by 12. We'll be back here on SWX. Or use big rigs, parts, or service, we're confident Western Peterbilt will exceed your needs. 4 locations to serve you: Liberty Lake, Pasco, Moses Lake, and Yakima. To show our appreciation, enter to win 4 Shock tickets and an autographed Shock football on opening night, March 12th. Go to khq.com/Peterbilt to enter and win. We are back at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Sunnyside Christian leading 33-21 here at the half after Brower's big shot to beat the buzzer at the end of the first half. Let's revisit that CenturyLink game plan, Coach, and how things work out there in the first half.
Well, for Cusick, they did a pretty decent job of rebounding the basketball, especially on the offensive end of the floor. Courtney Montgomery and Andrea Heinen were able to get some offensive putbacks. They didn't take care of the ball as well as I think they could have, and Andrea Heinen, as a senior and the best player in the league scorer, she's got to take care of that basketball. They need her to score, not throw the ball out of bounds. For Sunnyside Christian, contain Heinen. They've done a pretty good job of that. I think Heinen has done a better job of containing herself, and then dominate the paint. They've done, we saw the high-low passes against the zone from Van Bell to Broersma, and they got the ball to the paint. They didn't necessarily score in the paint, but they got some in-out open three-pointers. So I think that you could say that they dominated the paint, even though the points and rebound differential probably isn't that great.
Sunnyside Christian outscored Cusick 21-11 there in the second quarter. The Knights lead it by 12 here at halftime. We'll be back at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Well, this portion of the game is brought to you by the Community Colleges of Spokane, where the leadership of tomorrow is paving the road to success through academics and athletics. It's halftime here of the girls' quarterfinal. Sunnyside Christian leading Cusick 33-21 at the break. What a weekend of basketball in store here on SWX. You take a look at the other court that's happening right now, the boys' quarterfinal between Northwest Christian and Lake Roosevelt. Right now, Northwest Christian leading 38-20 in that one. In the third quarter, as the Northwest Christian boys continue their run of success. Tune in tomorrow night for more State B basketball action. 7:15, we'll have the 2B boys semifinal games, and then Saturday, of course, we're bringing all 4 State B championship games starting at 3 o'clock. It's State B championship basketball. Your source for light coverage is right here on SWX. So again, tomorrow night we will have the 2B boys semifinals at 7:15 and 9 o'clock here on SWX. Sunnyside Christian ranked number 3 in the state in the 1B girls classification is looking good here at halftime. Knights lead it by 12. We'll have second half action when we come back at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Well, State B basketball coverage on SWX is brought to you in part by CenturyLink, connecting you to what matters most. CenturyLink, proud sponsor of sports here on SWX. Getting ready for second half action at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Sunnyside Christian leading 33-21 here as we get ready for the second half. And Marissa Broersma with 8 points there in the first half for the Knights. Carradine Hode with a nice job offensively. She had 9 points. And I want to remind you the second half here brought to you by the Inland Empire Toyota dealers. Toyota moving forward. Nelson will try the three-pointer to start the second half for Cusick. Too short, though. Van Bell came down with the rebound. Van Bell had just 2 points there in the first half, but's done a nice job rebounding and passing on the offensive end. That ball was tipped, so Hawk can track it down, and she splits the double team that time. Has a free lane up the floor. She'll take the little jumper and hit it.
Yeah, bad decision that time by the Cusick kids to chase that ball and overrun it. If you can't get it, you got to stop. You can't let the Sunnyside Christian, you can't allow Hawk to get that ball and turn around and then create an advantage break going the other direction. You got to, it's not a lack of physical effort, but you got to play smarter than that.
Broersma comes up with the steal for the Knights. Another turnover on this Panthers team as Long will bring it up the floor for Sunnyside. There's Broersma with the top of the key. She's got Den Hode open for the jumper. That one's off the back of the iron, though. Look at Hawk in there getting the rebound. Good offensive rebounding from the Sunnyside Christian team. Another chance for the Knights. Long left open. Her three-point attempt is too strong. Heinen swats at it and swats it out of bounds. Stays Sunnyside ball.
Well, we talked in the game plan, and then when we reviewed the game plan at halftime, Cusick's ability to rebound the basketball was going to be big, and now Sunnyside Christian is going on their fourth field goal attempt on this possession. It's just very difficult if you can't rebound the ball when the other team misses, to claw back into the game. Now, Cusick, got down 8-1 early in the game and were able to climb right back into it and cut it to a 2-point lead at the end of the first quarter. And we'll see if they're able to do that again here in the second half.
Another offensive rebound for the Knights as Van Bell wants it inside. And this time Montgomery wrestles it away inside. Van Bell frustrated as she gets up. Montgomery, a good strong play inside for the Panthers, and it'll be Cusick basketball.
Yeah, good job. You'll see on the replay there, Montgomery breaking contact on post defense. When you break contact, it's much easier to get around the offensive player. She was able to do it that time and come up with a turnover.
Samuels with it, looking inside for Heinen, working on Van Bell. And a whistle inside, and it'll be Cusick basketball underneath.
And another quick foul on Van Bell there. I think if Heinen catches the ball from 15 feet in, she can cause a lot of problems for Sunnyside Christian and get herself on the free throw line. You see it again.
Boy, 3 fouls in a row now on Van Bell as they're going to get stormy one more time here. So
good execution once again on the out-of-bounds play by Cusick that time, able to get the ball to Heinen right at the front of the rim. There you see Van Bell. I'm not sure if they ended up calling that foul on her or somebody else.
They did. They got her for that one. And so
in less than 20 seconds, she was whistled for 3 fouls, and she was very effective for them in the first half. And if she has to leave the game in foul trouble, that will hurt Sunnyside Christian.
Obviously frustrated after the play on going after the offensive rebound on the other end, but then 2 fouls here on the defensive end as well, and that could change some things here in the game as Cusick's looking to make a run in this game, down 35-21 with 6:23 to go here in the second half or in the third quarter.
We'll see if Coach Smink changes his matchups here. If he does not take Van Bell out of the game, if he switches and puts somebody else on to defend Heinen to try to stop those fouls.
So Stormy Van Bell with those 3 personal fouls stays in the game for Sunnyside Christian as Heinen here at the free throw line looking to hit one of the 2 free throws. That one's too strong, and Van Bell comes down with the rebound for the Knights, and Hawk will bring it up for Sunnyside. Some pressure now from the Panthers as they extend out. Hawk dribbles right around the trap and turns it over then as a steal for the Panthers. So a little bit of pressure as Adamson comes away with it for Cusick.
Yeah, Cusick extended their defense that time even off of a missed free throw, and were able to create a turnover.
Heinen shot too strong. Montgomery's there for the rebound. She couldn't get the shot to go, and there's a foul underneath.
I think they got Heinen. She was a little bit frustrated missing that open shot and ran in there and got the arm and was whistled for that foul. She causes a lot of problems when she operates from 15 feet in, and I'd like to see her not settle for three-pointers, especially early in the shot clock, and try to get in that 15-foot range and work from there and get fouled.
Wavern checks into the game for Sunnyside Christian as Van Bell does take a seat now as Long and the Knights break the pressure. Hawk will set it up for Sunnyside Christian. Heinen out there on her. Long up top. She had a couple of three-pointers in the first half. Den Hode had 9 points in the first half. Here's Hawk. Found a lane, but Heinen comes up with the block. She'll get it up ahead to Nelson. Good hustle by Broersma to get it back and knock it out of bounds, and it'll be Cusick basketball.
Yeah, nice job by Heinen looking ahead, throwing it ahead, and even a better effort by Broersma that time to chase it down from behind and knock it away.
So Nelson will inbound for the Panthers, looking to cut into this 14-point lead. Heinen underneath. This time she finishes. She's got 10 points now, and it's a 12-point game.
Well, I think they've got the ball on the out-of-bounds play. They've got the ball to her right in that same spot on either 3 or 4 occasions already in this game.
Pressure extended again. Broersma's got all kinds of space, dribbles it right into Montgomery, and they're going to get her for the charge. So Marissa Broersma had all kinds of daylight. She took it right to Montgomery, who stood her ground.
Yeah, very surprising for Marissa Broersma, as good a player as she is, to make a mistake like that. The defender was clearly there and was there for quite a while.
That's number 4 on Broersma. Has another whistle inside, and who are they going to get? I think they're going to get Wavern this time on the foul.
Yeah, nice job by Madeline Wavern coming from the weak side. She's just a little bit too aggressive, got a little too much contact, and got whistled for the foul. Now we see not only is Van Bell, but also Marissa Broersma in foul trouble, and that's the effect that Heinen can have on this game if she'll stay, 15 feet and in, right where she is right there, and keep operating. She wasn't able to score at that time, but stay right in there, and she keeps getting called for fouls, and not only does it put her on the free throw line, but it takes the frontline players for Sunnyside Christian and puts them on the bench with foul problems.
You can see this Cusick team with a little bit of momentum here. Is starting to believe that they can come back from this now down by 12. Good play by Montgomery there to force the turnover. Brittany Broersma has checked in for Marissa, but boy, the Panthers turn it over, and Hawk gets it to Wavern, and she'll set it up. So
a good feel for the game that time by Alyssa Hawk. Understood that she was in traffic, picked that ball up, save that possession, don't get it knocked away by the backflow.
Here's Long with it in the corner, inside to Wavern, who tries to spin. Heinen just takes it away. She thought about another baseball pass, but instead does the prudent thing and slows it down.
Yeah.
I see the coach in you coming out over here.
Take care of that ball and get down in the paint and operate.
And there you have it, a good possession as Adamson knocks down the 3, and just like that, it's a 9-point game. 6-0 run here for Cusick.
And I think if you're Cusick, you want to keep applying pressure right here since Broersma and Van Bell are out of the game.
And Hode with the drive to the basket. That one wouldn't go. Nelson comes down with the rebound, and Cusick with a chance to whittle away at the slate again here.
I would certainly play through Heinen on this possession. I'd make sure she touched the ball on this possession and take a chance of her getting a bucket or a free throw. I guess unless you get a layup, which Montgomery did and got called. She's going to go to the free throw line with a chance to cut this lead down to 7.
That's when we come back. You're watching the State B basketball tournaments right here on SWX. Back here at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, Sunnyside Christian leading 35-26 over Cusick, but the Panthers with the momentum right now on a nice little roll here as Courtney Montgomery will go to the free throw line looking to cut into this 9-point lead.
And Coach Smink feels that momentum as well, and he's brought Stormy Van Bell back into the game here. And let's see if she's able to play. They really need for her to get through this third quarter without picking up her 4th foul. She has 3 at the moment.
First free throw is no good for Montgomery. Take a look there at Stormy Van Bell. Picked up 3 quick fouls here in the third quarter to get herself into foul trouble. And, of course, Marissa Broersma also in foul trouble with 4. So fouls playing a key role here as Van Bell comes down with the rebound. Cusick could not capitalize at the free throw line. I'm
surprised that Cusick didn't extend their defense off of that missed free throw the way they did earlier in this quarter that caused a turnover.
Another errant pass, and Nelson comes away with the steal. Hawk thought she might have the steal from behind. Good job by Nelson to hold on to it, and the Panthers will set up. Trying to get it to Heinen. Ball kicked around, and Hawk does come away with it eventually.
Back-to-back turnovers there. Much more important for Cusick, obviously trailing by 9 at the moment, for them to take care of the ball and get the ball up on the rim, get a shot at the basket.
Unforced turnover there and over and back call, and so Cusick will get the ball back. And so one of your keys to the game here in the CenturyLink game plan was to take care of the basketball. Important right now for this Panther team to do just that, to get back into it.
Yeah, and again, I think now they need to try to play through Heinen, and Heinen has Van Bell guarding her. If they can get the ball to her anywhere near the paint.
Montgomery's shot is wild, and Wavrin comes down with it for the Knights.
Yeah, I mean, one pass that time on a baseline drive to a bad shot. Back-to-back bad possessions for Cusick on offense. Let's see if Sunnyside Christian is able to make them pay for that.
Hawk on the baseline. Important time of the game here. Hawk tries the baseline again. This time she finds a seam. Van Bell fought for the rebound, kicks out, and finally Montgomery comes away with it for the Panthers. They trail it by 9 here with 2:18 to go in the third quarter.
Have some patience, get a ball reversal, try to get that ball to Heinen and see if she's able to operate in tight spaces. Nice job, kick out for an open 3.
And once again they cash in as Adamson hits another one. That's the second time we've seen that in this quarter, and the lead is down to 6 now.
When I say play through Heinen, that doesn't necessarily mean that she has to take a shot, but the ball needs to be in her hands. And it was that time she drew 2 defenders, threw it out to a wide open 3-pointer that they were able to knock down to cut the lead. And again, if they don't have something easy early in the possession, play through Heinen, but you got to do so without turning the ball over.
Van Bell came away with the steal for the Knights, and Long will bring it up the floor for Sunnyside Christian. This is Hawk with it in the corner, inside to Van Bell. She tried to hit Wavrin underneath. Ball be tipped out of bounds by Heinen, so it'll stay with Sunnyside Christian.
A nice high-low look that time, but Heinen was there as a weak side defender as well. They're very fortunate. Sunnyside Christian's very fortunate that didn't become a turnover.
Nelson will take a seat for the Panthers as Haley Adams has checked into the game for Cusick. Trailed by as many as 16. They've cut the lead to 6 here with 1:15 to go in the third quarter. Van Bell inside, triple teamed underneath, and a foul on the play.
Again, it's so many times with young players, and when I say young players, I'm talking high school and college for that matter. People catch the ball in the post, and the defender is directly between the person with the ball and the rim, and they foul him. And it's still a difficult shot in there to score over a defender, and they commit fouls that needlessly put them closer to the bonus or put them on the free throw line.
Well, Heinen was called for the original foul. Now they're going to get Samuels, who was using too much hands there, and a foul on Chelsea Samuels, and it'll be Sunnyside Christian basketball out of bounds. 1:07 to go here in the third.
And these fouls add up. I mean, those last two fouls don't send Sunnyside Christian to the free throw line, but it puts them closer to the bonus. And when you're trying to play from behind, that's important. And now we have three fouls on this possession. Eventually, Sunnyside Christian is going to be shooting the bonus. And again, when you're trying to play from behind, it's difficult enough without giving easy opportunities on the free throw line to the other team.
Adamson called for the foul that time. So again, Sunnyside Christian will inbound the ball from underneath its own basket. Then Hode with it inside to Van Bell, and boy, oh boy. We're talking within 8 seconds here. There's been 4 fouls called on Cusick.
Yeah, and the first 3 I thought were very good calls. I'm not so sure about that one. I don't know if we'll see the replay on that one, but if we do, I thought the defenders on that time did a good job of staying straight up and not creating contact.
So that was on Heinen. That's her 3rd personal now for the Panthers. They can ill afford to have her in foul trouble here. Left-handed drive, no good, and another whistle on the play. And this time it's going to be against Sunnyside Christian.
Yeah, Den Hode, after she missed that shot, little frustration there, going after chasing that rebound and went over the back. And that's going to give Cusick a chance to go to the free throw line and shoot 1-and-1 here. It'll be Montgomery. She missed her last 2. Let's see if she's able to step up here and knock both of these in and cut into the 6-point deficit.
See if the Panthers can capitalize here. One thing for sure, this Cusick team has been resilient in this game. They've fallen behind a couple of different times. Free throw wouldn't go though, and Van Bell comes down with the rebound. Fell behind early, 8-1 right out of the gate. Cut the lead back down to 2. Sunnyside Christian built the lead back up, led by as many as 16, but here we are, a 6-point game with 35 to go in the 3rd quarter. 3-point attempt, no good. Wavrin there for the weak side rebound. Sticks with it, couldn't get it to go though, and finally Montgomery clears for the Panthers.
A really good effort to the offensive glass by Wavrin, and very smart basketball by Heinen not to foul her, to stay straight up, make her score over.
Adams' 3-point attempt was no good, and Wavrin comes away with the rebound. Under 10 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Wavrin up ahead. Here's Van Bell in the corner. She'll try the 3-point attempt. That one's no good. Heinen comes down with the rebound, and that is how the 3rd quarter is going to come to a close. Sunnyside Christian leads it 35-29, but the Panthers picking up some much-needed momentum there in the 3rd quarter. We'll have that 4th quarter for you when we come back here on SWX. Well, State Beat coverage on SWX is brought to you by Parker Toyota. No problem at Parker Toyota means an even better car buying experience. Parker Toyota, winner of the President's Award for 25 consecutive years of superb customer service. We're back here at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Sunnyside Christian with the basketball here to start the 4th quarter. Knights lead at 35-29. They ran into some foul trouble there in the 3rd quarter, scored just 2 points in that quarter. And as a result, Cusick has cut this lead down to 6. Van Bell, nice look inside, and Hogue couldn't finish though. And the rebound comes down, a tie-up, and it'll be Cusick basketball on the possession arrow.
Yeah, good ball movement that time by Sunnyside Christian, able to get a really good shot. Not able to score it, as you just mentioned. They only scored 2 points in the third quarter, allowed Cusick to cut the lead, get it back down to 6. I think Cusick probably will look back and win or lose, look back at that third quarter and feel like they should have made even more hay in that quarter. You know, when you look at the turnovers and missed free throws.
Adamson's been big from long range, and she cuts the lead down to 3 now with her three-pointer. 7:15 to go in the basketball game, and Cusick, this defensive pressure they put on here in the second half has really worked nicely.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how long Coach Smink keeps Broersma on the bench, because they're really struggling right now.
And another near steal that time for the Panthers. Instead, it's knocked out of bounds, so Sunnyside Christian will hang on to it. Well, you see Adamson done a nice job from long range to cut this lead to 3. 11 on the shot clock for the Knights. Let's see if they're clock aware here. Long in the corner. Adamson on her. And there goes the shot clock. So Hawk got caught up way up by midcourt, and I don't think they knew when they inbound how much time was on that clock.
No, we talked in the first game tonight. Sometimes when balls get knocked out of bounds or there's a timeout in the middle of a possession, the players just kind of their internal clock tells them they have 30 when that ball's inbounded, and they didn't that time. And you know, that's where the bench has got to help with that. No, the bench has got to recognize that clock and start yelling.
Van Bell at the other end, and she finishes. That's one way to break some pressure, is get it up ahead to Stormy Van Bell, and it's a 5-point lead.
Yeah, tough turnaround there. Cusick had a chance to tie the game and immediately went from 3 to 5.
Here's Heinen inside. Shot no good, gets her own rebound and scores. Andrea Heinen.
Yeah, nice job. She scored that over a triple team. I think, you know, she's got to be conscious if there's more than one person on her in there. She's done a good job in this game of throwing the ball out when she attracted more than one defender. That time she had 3, but she was in there so close she was able to power it up and score.
Foul that time on Karina Nomi, and so it'll be Sunnyside Christian ball out of bounds, and Broersma now back into the game for Sunnyside Christian with 6:01 to go in the game. Haley Adams will take a seat for Cusick as Lauren Nelson checks back in for the Panthers. Van Bell inbounds. This is Hawk up top. Inside to Van Bell. Turnaround shot won't go. Tipped out, then Hogue saves it. Hawk comes away with it.
Well, you talked earlier in the game, John, about Sunnyside Christian not being in a lot of close games, and if you're in a blowout and you're playing with 4 fouls or playing with foul trouble, it really doesn't matter if you foul out. So I don't know how many times Marissa Broersman's been in this situation where she's had 4 fouls with several minutes to go in the game and in a close game.
Another tie-up on the play, possession arrow this time to Sunnyside. They're looking inside, trying to get it, and Heinen playing some tough interior defense. Here's Broersma with it. Her shot is good. Back into the game, and she makes an immediate impact.
Well, I think certainly when they have Broersma and Van Bell on the floor together, they are much better, much more efficient offensively.
Ball off of the Panthers, so Sunnyside Christian will get the ball back now, leading by 5.
See, if you're Cusick there, I think you've got to take one possession where you attempt to draw the 5th foul on Broersma. Try to get that ball to Heinen, put it on the floor, try to get that 5th foul and get her off the floor, because Sunnyside is much better offensively when she's on the floor, as we've seen the last 2 possessions.
Marissa Broersma with another basket, and the lead is up to 7 at 41-34, and a timeout for the Panthers as they want to talk about this.
I think that's a really good timeout by Coach Seymour there. You could feel that they had the lead down. It was 37-34. Had a shot, had an open 3 that would have tied the game. They missed it, and immediately Sunnyside scored on the other end to take the lead from 3 back up to 5. And now another basket that's stretched it out to 7. Coach Seymour allow the girls to get a little, catch their breath here and make sure that they understand there's a lot of time. There's no need to panic. Hey, we've been here before. We were down 8-1 to start the game, and we got it back, and we came back We're at a 7-point deficit right now. 5 minutes to go. It's plenty of time. But we need to have good possessions on offense, and then we need to get Marissa Broersman under control on the other end of the floor.
Broersma with a couple of baskets there in a row after she comes back in, battling those 4 fouls and makes an immediate impact. She's got 12 points now in the game and has increased this lead back to 7 at 41-34. And it's amazing how just a couple players can change the whole dynamic of what's happening out there.
Yeah, and really when it's a very good player who's also unselfish, who can pass and score, one player can completely change the dynamic. I mean, if you look at, what does Chris Paul do for the Clippers? What does LeBron James do for Miami? And when one player is really talented and unselfish, they can change the game.
Another held ball as Den Hode was just hung out to dry there underneath her own basket, and the Panthers come up and cause the tie-up. Possession arrow back to Cusick.
And Sunnyside Christian has been in a zone since Marissa Broersman came back into the game, but I'd try to get the ball over onto her on the side of the floor. The offense's right-hand side, over there on her side, try to get her in a closeout situation, drive the ball at her, and see if we could pick up that 5th foul.
Hawk knocked the ball out of bounds, so the Panthers will inbound. Samuels open for 3. She hits! Chelsea Samuels, and boy, the long-range shots have really been key here in the second half for this Panthers team. Just about a travel on long here in the backcourt. Hawk, 4 players surrounding her. Van Bell finds Broersma, and they break the pressure with that beautiful play.
I think when you have those two on the floor together, Stormy Van Bell and Marissa Broersman, everything is much easier for everybody else on their team.
That time the 3-point attempt is not good, and Long comes away with it for the Knights. Here's Hawk with it. Broersma getting a lot of attention underneath. Heinen on her. She spins, couldn't get the shot to go. Den Hode is there for the rebound and the bucket. She'll go to the free throw line looking for a 3-point play.
Really good effort by Kara Den Hode on the offensive glass. So much of offensive rebounding is A, effort, just get in there, and B, preparation and seeing things early, understanding when your teammate, she knew that Marissa Broersman was going to shoot that ball as soon as the pass was coming into her. And so she started working real early on that weak side to get that rebound, and it paid off.
Well, on Samuels there, as Den Hode could not finish the 3-point play. Heinen inside, looking down to Montgomery. Wide open jump shot again for Adamson, that time no good. Ball tipped out of bounds, and it'll be Cusick basketball here with 3:45 to go in the basketball game. A timeout on the floor. Sunnyside Christian has built its lead back to 8. We'll be back. Well, tonight's basketball coverage on SWX is being brought to you by your Inland Empire Toyota dealers. Toyota moving forward. 3:45 to go in the basketball game. Sunnyside Christian hanging on to an 8-point lead here over Cusick. The State 1B girls quarterfinals. Panthers will inbound the ball with Nelson. Going to hang in there. I got a double pick here, Coach. I got 3 people standing in front of me. Couldn't see what happened. A turnover, though, on the Panthers, and Hawk comes away with it. Den Hode on the wing, looking inside for Broersma. Broersma now has 16 in the game for Sunnyside Christian. Inside to Van Bell. And a travel underneath on Marissa Broersma. And boy, you can see how Van Bell is so valuable with her passing to Broersma. Just got caught a little bit too far underneath that time.
Yeah, resulted in a turnover that possession, but I still like the offensive possession other than the result for Sunnyside Christian. The ball moved, it went side to side. They got it into the post, tried to go high-low. They had the right idea, they had the right game plan, the right attack. It just happened to shuffle their feet and get a traveling violation.
Boy, some turnovers here really hurt this Cusick team. Another good look from Van Bell to Broersma. She's got 18 now, and the lead is up to 10.
Those two do a really nice job of finding each other, post to post and high-low situations. Speaking of Van Bell and Broersma.
Heinen whistled for the travel, and that's 3 turnovers in a row for the Panthers. And Sunnyside Christian now with a chance to build on its 10-point lead.
Well, if you're Sunnyside Christian, you want to do just exactly what you've done the last couple possessions. Be patient, take care of the ball, and try to get it into the hands of Van Bell and Broersma.
Then Hode with it. All kinds of space, and she'll take the little shot that won't go. Broersma tips it up, but Nelson comes away with it for the Panthers. 2:29, 2:28 here to go in the basketball game. They need some offense. Here's Heinen with it. Looking deep inside, and that's good for Montgomery. Courtney Montgomery cuts the lead back to 8.
Yeah, nice pass by Heinen that time along the baseline, found Montgomery.
Hawk will break the pressure for the Knights. Then Hode will set it up. 2 minutes to go now in the basketball game, and Sunnyside Christian very patient with the basketball.
As they should be. There's no need for them to hurry, no need for them to take a shot. Now the shot clock's down to 7. Drive it middle, put some foul pressure.
And Hawk instead turns it over, gets the ball caught on her hip that time. And so the double dribble, and it will be Cusick basketball here with 1:50 to go in the basketball game as Brower checks back into the game for Sunnyside Christian.
And it's another possession for Sunnyside Christian. It results in a turnover, but they're playing the right way, and you can see that they've been well coached. They understand exactly what they want to do and what they want to accomplish on the possession.
Samuels with it. Over to Adamson. The zone defense tough here for the Sunnyside Christian team. Heinen with it. Samuels tries the little shot inside, tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Cusick.
Yeah, the zone's done a really good job of limiting the penetration by Cusick, which has kind of kept Broersma from being in any type of situations where she might collect that 5th foul.
6 on the shot clock here for the Panthers. They go inside, and the ball tapped away, and they're going to get Van Bell over the back that time. And so Stormy Van Bell picks up her 4th personal foul. And importantly for the Panthers is it stops the clock, and they go to the free throw line.
Yeah, it's a bad foul for a couple of reasons. Number one, you have an 8-point lead with 1:20 to go in the game. It allows Cusick to have an opportunity to score with the clock stopped, and there's no reason to foul to begin with. Make them catch that ball in there and score it over you.
Oh, Heinen, tough rebound inside. Gets her own rebound again. Nice move to get over to the other side of the rim. 3 attempts at it, and none of them will go.
Other than the lack of rebounding, it's a good job by Sunnyside Christian of staying on the ground and making the offensive player score over you.
Then Hode with a quick drive to the basket. Another tie-up in this basketball game, and Sunnyside Christian gets the timeout, actually. So the Knights will talk about it here with 1:01 to go in the game. Sunnyside Christian leading 47-39. Time now to take a look at our player of the game here, Coach. And I think for a couple of reasons, not only what she did while she was on the floor, but how things changed when she was off the floor. It's our Red Lion Hotel player of the game, proud to be a State B sponsor, and Marissa Broersma fits the bill.
Yeah, I mean, I think she finished with 18, or she has 18 points up to this point with a minute to go in the game. And as you said, maybe even more noticeable as the player of the game when she wasn't on the floor tonight than when she was. When she was the best player, and the best scorer on the floor tonight. But when she was not on the floor, her team struggled mightily on the offensive end of the floor to even get a good shot at the basket, let alone to score. I think, much like I think in some ways you could make an argument for Peyton Manning being the MVP of the NFL last year.
There's that argument out there.
You know, the Colts won one game. You know, they went from a team that was capable of winning the Super Bowl to not being able to, you know, beat a high school team with that when he wasn't playing. And same thing with Marissa Broersman tonight. When she was not on the floor, they were not the same team. They were not nearly as good a team.
Really impressive how their two post players work together underneath. Van Bell does a nice job of feeding Broersman. She certainly knows how to finish. Whistle up top against Nelson. The foul, Annie Brower. The freshman who hit the big shot at the end of the first half will go to the free throw line.
And I think if you're Cusick right now, you've got to be aggressive. You've got to try to create a turnover. And if you're going to put somebody on the free throw line, I guess best to put a freshman there.
Averages a couple of points a game. Misses the free throw, and Heinen comes down with it. Heinen thought about another one of those long baseball passes. Instead, they get it up the floor the conventional way. Samuels, three goes. Chelsea Samuels hits the three, and a quick timeout for the Panthers. It's a 5-point game.
Yeah, 5 points with 46 seconds to go. Obviously, it's still time that you don't have to foul immediately if you're Cusick. You can trap the ball in the backcourt, take 6 or 7 seconds here to try to make a steal, to try to create a turnover. But certainly if Sunnyside Christian gets it across the half-court line, then you have to foul, if not before. And I'm not trying to pick on Annie Brower here, okay? But she is a freshman, okay? And she did just miss that last free throw. If she catches the ball real early in this possession, I would foul her immediately.
Sunnyside Christian with that 5-point lead here with 46.6 to go. An update for you from the boys' court, and the Northwest Christian boys a 64-46 winner over Lake Roosevelt there in the 2B quarterfinals. And we'll have the 2B semifinals from the boys' side coming up tomorrow night here on SWX. That Northwest Christian team looking strong again.
Yeah, obviously Lake Roosevelt has a really good young player in Ty Egbert, who's signed to be playing at the University of Idaho next year, and Northwest Christian just overwhelmed them tonight. They'll certainly be a really tough out in that tournament.
3-on-2 for the Knights, and they'll pull it out with Van Bell. Sunnyside Christian with the 5-point lead, and Panthers need a foul here. Here's Hawk up top, and they get the foul. So Brittany Adamson finally is able to get up to Hawk, and the Knights did a good job of playing keep away. Yeah,
a little bit more time, 14 seconds off the clock that time. A little bit more than Coach Seymour probably would have liked. Again, you try for a steal, but you know, in 6 or 7 seconds, and certainly once they cross the 10-second line, you got to foul and put them on the free throw line, because you're in a two-possession game at best, and possibly a 3-possession game if they make both free throws.
Alyssa Hawk's first free throw rattles home, and so it's a 6-point lead. This is a very important free throw here with 32.7 left. Chance to make it a 3-possession game instead of a 2-possession game. Hawk, the 5'5" senior, misses short, and Nelson comes away with it. Here's Samuels with it. Need some urgency here from the Panthers.
Yeah, they need to score on this possession. They were trying to run a sideline break off of that free throw and get the ball to Heinen on the block, and terrific defense by Marissa Broersman.
So there you see Broersman again making an impact in this game. He's just going to go to the free throw line at the other end. 5'11" senior, the Greater Columbia League Player of the Year, who averages more than 11 points per game.
You know, we talked in the first half about how sound and how disciplined she was on the free throw line. The exact same routine, the same pace, the same rhythm as she had in the first half.
Beautiful. Unofficially now with 19 points on the night for Marissa. Second one also up and in. So the lead 8 now in a 3-possession game with 24.3 to go. Heinen will try the 3-point attempt. She hits. A quick timeout for the Panthers. And so with 17 seconds to go, Cusick still with some life here.
Yeah, a little bit. The discouraging thing is there's 30 seconds have gone off the clock since that last timeout. There was 47 seconds to go, and it was a 5-point margin. Now there's 17 seconds to go. It's still a 5-point margin. If you're Sunnyside Christian right now, you make sure as a coach, you make sure your players know if you have any timeouts left, so that if they're in trouble in the backcourt or if they have trouble inbounding the ball, they know whether they can take a timeout or not. If you're Cusick, you've either got to steal the inbounds pass or foul whoever catches the ball inbounds. And, from Sunnyside Christian's perspective, if you don't make a turnover and you make your free throws, you're going to win the game. But that's two big ifs.
17 seconds to go as they inbound to Den Hode. They did a nice job of playing keep away last time. They're doing it again. Here's Hawk with it, dribbling around. Finds Long up the side of the court, and she finds Broersman, and boy, they just can't catch him. They cannot catch the basketball right now as Hawk gets it over to Long, and that is going to do it for the basketball game. What a job by Sunnyside Christian there to run out the clock.
Yeah, nice job of spacing the floor and moving the basketball and never allowing Cusick to catch up.
So Sunnyside Christian comes away with a big quarterfinal win here in the State 1B girls quarterfinals at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. They'll move on to the semifinals tomorrow night to face Columbia, who was a winner earlier. Colton and ACH, the other semifinal coming up tomorrow night. Remember, we have State 2B boys semifinal action tomorrow night at 7:15 and 9 right here on SWX. Thanks for watching the State B basketball tournaments. We'll see you tomorrow night.